Okay, sorry about the long wait for the update. The bad news is, due to family and personal reasons, I had to turn the truck in yesterday. Not an easy thing to do. But in the first, the 3 weeks that I've been there at R.E. Garrison, the lease is straightforward. Everything they tell you up front, your first check you're going to make, some money off of. Be sure to put a little bit of that back. They don't really take too much out of your first check. Your second check, there is a $150 lease fee that will come out. They do tell you about it. That'll come out. Your first truck payment, of course, your bobtail insurance, and I apologize for the wind. Whatever, if you buy anything from the company store or anything like that, that'll come out in payments of $100 per week, depending on how much you get. They have GPSs in the store. They have CB radios, headsets, things like that. Anything that you'll need. The Wi-Fi in the truck is excellent. It runs the TV perfect. You can run PlayStation 4, Xbox, anything like that off of it. The inverters are 2,000 watts. I know the trucks are kept pretty decent. They're roadworthy. Just look over it real good before you take it out. Check out the APU. They'll tell you they don't warranty the APU, but they'll give you 30 days. If anything happens in the first 30 days with it, they'll cover it or they'll help you out with it. For the first 3 months, they warranty the engine, transmission, the rear end, the turbo, the water pump, things like that. It'll be 100% covered if something is to happen. They will help you, stay on the road, anything like that. If your truck is to go down, they'll work with you. They'll try to put you in another truck. The people there are excellent. Some people, if, as long as you respect them and come to them with respect and treat them how you want to be treated, they will treat you great. Trying to think of anything as far as how the lease is worked out. Everything's in the lease. It is straightforward. It tells you what they're gonna charge you, what the prices are, what you're expected to keep up with the lease, all of that. As far as pay wise, like I said, there's $150. It might be $300. I can't remember. But on my pay settlement, it said that there was a $150 lease fee. They took that out. They took the truck payment out. Your escrow, your maintenance, all of that comes out. As far as the Milo's account itself, they will keep you running. I ran for, I think, 11 days straight, or 9 days straight. The way it's set up, if you run your clock right, you can run off your recaps, and you can run 2 or 3 weeks before you have to do a 3-hour reset, if that's what you want to do. On the lease purchase side, there is not a lot of time for you to, take home time right off the bat. Save you a little money up before you take any days off. Run your clock effectively. As far as sitting at the shippers, the Dollar General DCs are pretty quick to get you unloaded. Most of the Dollar Generals DCs that I went to, I was there no more than about an hour, hour and a half. Walmart generally takes anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on which one you go to. As far as Milos, they do get behind sometimes, but they try to do what they can. They will try to accommodate you. Now, there was 2 days where they messed up and didn't get me loaded in time. Garrison paid me a total of $400 per day that I sat because the loads got messed up. So they do compensate you. It's not as much as you'll make, taking the load. But if you sit and look at what it would cost you in fuel to run that load and the wear and tear on the truck, then you just figure out a way to factor that in with the pay. Depending on what run it is, it might actually be more beneficial to sit, so you save the fuel. Just depending on how you want to look at it. My first check was right at $1,400, and all I did was run the 3 loads, and I had 2 days that I had to miss the loads because, Milos didn't get them loaded in time. But again, they did compensate me for that. My second check was actually negative. Like I said, due to family and personal reasons, I was negative $500. But off of 6 or 7 loads, I think I turned almost $3,000. But because I got a CB radio from the shop, and I had them push a fuel ticket from the previous week to last week's check, it was a total of almost $800 to fill the truck up with fuel and DEF, and then I had to fill the reefer up, because you do have to pay for your own reefer fuel. They do not charge maintenance and trailer fees. So you have to pay for your own fuel in the reefer. And it can get expensive. So if you have reefer experience, you watch it and, when to turn it off when you're not using it, when the trailer's not loaded, don't let it run. Everything on the settlement is, at first when you look at it, if you've never done a lease purchase, it's a little confusing, but sit down, go over it. They'll be glad to walk you through it, what everything is, what everything means, why this was taken out. The loads do run heavy. Generally I stayed around 40 to 42,000 pounds of freight in the trailer. So the loads are heavy, so you're going to burn a little extra fuel. You can compensate for that. The way that it's set up on the trucks is you can either have it governed at 68 on the pedal and 68 on cruise, or 65 on the pedal and 70 on cruise. The trucks are pretty strong. They don't have any issues pulling, nothing like that. As far as pay goes, you'll get your settlement generally between 3 and 8 o'clock on Thursday night, and you'll get paid Friday morning. If you don't have a bank account or anything like that, they can pay you by way of your fuel card. The setup of it is actually really cool. They've got runs to New Albany, Mississippi. Oh, there's a car. Sorry about that. They've got runs to New Albany, Mississippi, Brundage, Alabama. They've got 2 places in Kentucky, Shelbyville, Tennessee, Atlanta, Georgia, Jacksonville, Florida. If you want to run down to, I think it's around Palm Beach, the Miami area, they've got runs down there. They've got some long runs, some short runs. If you do take one of the long runs, they will get you backloaded somewhere else so that you don't deadhead back. You might sit an hour or two waiting on them to get you a load, and you may have to pick up a load of chicken to bring it back, and it's not the nicest thing or the prettiest thing, and it is very heavy. But you might pick up chicken, yogurt, watermelons, tomatoes, something like that, to come out of Florida or to come out of Kentucky. Dispatch wise, James and Daniel are awesome. They answer the phone when you call. They answer the phone. If they cannot answer you, they immediately call you back. They will not keep you sitting there waiting. They don't keep you guessing. The after hours people, sometimes they're a little slow, but they get a lot of calls that come in at night. If something's wrong with your truck, my truck actually lost oil pressure, and I think it was around the oil filter. It wasn't actually nothing wrong with the truck. They called me and they stayed on the record service to hurry up and come pick me up. There was not a lot of sitting. I think I only sat like 2 hours, something like that, before they got to me. As far as everybody in the office, safety, all of them, they're great people too. Miss Karen that's in the shop, she'll go above and beyond if there's something you need. The first truck I picked out had an issue. I went in there and explained it to them, and they, without question, swapped me into another truck and fixed the other truck. You'll hear stories about how DOT is hard on Garrison's trucks. No, I didn't get bothered, not once. And I had a bright lime green Freightliner. They didn't even look at me. Got a lot of waves from people, saying that the color was really cool. But as far as cops bothering me, DOT, anything like that, they're not hard on them. Garrison, if you get pulled over, Garrison actually pays you for a clean roadside inspect. I'm not sure, like I said, I didn't get one, so I don't know. So they pay you extra for, your truck being maintained and everything. So as far as the lease, depending on what truck you get, they've got trucks ranging from like $650 all the way up into, $1,100, which would be, of course, the brand new trucks. In the lease, they'll explain everything. They will tell you what you're expected to pay each week, how much it is. There's a balloon payment at the end of it, depending on what truck you get, how new or whatever it may be. It'll have a balloon payment at the end of it, and they will state that to you. Some trucks have a $1,200 lease completion bonus. Some have a $1,500. I think there was one that I actually saw that had $3,000 completion bonus, but it was a brand new truck. I think it was a 2022 model with only like 400 miles on it. They've got all different kinds of colors, things like that. The APU system saves you a lot of fuel. It's not hard to use. By no means am I saying Garrison's a bad company, because I don't think they are. Every company has its hang-ups, and every company has its, downfalls, positives, negatives, however you want to look at it. There's a whole saying, you got to take the lesser of the evils. A lot of guys on YouTube say buy the Garrison's lease program, or they're horrible or whatever. It's because they didn't, excuse me, they did not run their truck effectively. And your first 2 months is going to be crucial as to how you run. The best thing I could say with the way they run it, to make sure you make money, plan to be, a week and a half to 2 weeks out. Now, that's not saying you're not going to get by the house, depending on where you live. But try to run it 2 weeks at a time for the first couple of months so that you can get those extra loads to cover that home time or that day missed or that weekend off or whatever. Run hard, and they will reward you. It's no forced dispatch on the lease. If there's a load that you can't take or you don't want to take, let them know, and they will try to find you something else. They're not going to penalize you and make you sit unless you start doing it all the time, because then it's going to start costing them money. Just like any other owner-operator program, lease purchase program, whatever. But again, as far as the lease, it is straightforward. There's nothing in it hidden that I found out. The pay, it's not going to be the absolute greatest, because they've got to make money too. But it dang sure ain't the worst. I think a run from Bessemer to Shelbyville, Tennessee pays, I think it was $533. So it takes, factor in your fuel. Say it's going to take you about $120 in fuel to get up there, and, deliver and turn around and come back. So, my truck generally averaged about 7.8 miles per gallon. But, of course, I stayed in it. I was running 70. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going back to Werner to run on the Dollar General account, because I can be home daily if need be. I'm going to do that, but I will be going back to R.E. Garrison as long as they will allow me to come back. I do like the company. Like I said, the people are great. If there's any more questions or anything you want to know specifically, just drop a comment in the messages, and I will get to you as quickly as possible. If I don't post a video of it, I will respond to your comment. So I've actually got to leave here in about an hour to go pick the rental car up to go to Lithia Springs, Georgia, to go back and do it for, a month or a couple weeks or whatever. And then, like I said, again, I will go back to R.E. Garrison. So I appreciate everybody that's watching, and when I do return, I will post more videos, because I do plan on staying there. Like I said, I love the company. And again, any questions, don't hesitate to ask anything specifically. If I can figure out a way to do it, I will load up my pay settlement. I've got one more settlement coming out. I don't have it yet, so and it's from last week. But if I can figure out a way to upload it to YouTube, I will blur out my social and things like that, and let you guys actually scroll through and look at it, even if I have to do it in the comments. So thanks for watching, and keep looking for updates.